for Miri. Peace, peace, peace. This is Voyager. And I got a very powerful teaching today. I didn't even think it was going to get this in depth, but I was researching and studying on it. So I think it'll be nice and awesome to bring you this teaching here. And today's teaching is going to be about the demonization of the spiritual spouse. Let me say that one more time. The demonization of the spiritual spouse. Let's pray. Almighty, we thank you for your presence. We invite all of our forces, all of our ancestors. We invite all of the elements, earth, air, fire, and water, to this place now to bless and to make our conversation fruitful. In your names we pray. He said, Amen, Ashe. All right, let's talk about the demonization of the spiritual spouse, because this is something, especially in our indigenous culture, African culture, that everywhere you look, you see the demonization of what's called a spiritual spouse. Some is talking about a succubus or incubus, but this is not that type of conversation. A succubus or incubus is pretty much does some of mainly the sexual intercourse in the dream or the astral realm, which the dream is a part of the astral realm. The spiritual spouse does do that, but the incubus and succubus is, from my understanding, a demonic spirit. But this is not what we're talking about. But stay tuned. I'm going to teach you and show you. But if you're listening right now, go ahead and hit the like, share this video, and tune into what we're going to say now. So let's get into it. They are not demons, right? Your spiritual spouse are not demons. They're not. So let's just get that out the way. All right. And I'm going to try to answer as much of those questions to prove my point that they're not. Because I know you already probably had some experiences, probably heard from some people that's making you believe a certain type of way. But just listen to Ofo Miri. I'll teach you what's going on. They're not demons. They are your better half. That amongst all of the other spiritual groups and beings, that your higher self and them, right? Your higher self, your spirit spouse, and all of the other groups around you. Some of people call it Ebe Orun, if you are a Yoruba. Igbos call it Indiotu, which is pretty much your heavenly mates, your astral mates. These are the group of pre-incarnate spiritual beings where you come from. This is where you come from, okay? Everybody has one. Typically, you're going to be primarily in one of those groups. Even if you have connections to other parts, you're going to have a primary group. Either you're from the earth dimension, the air dimension, the fire dimension, or the water dimension. A lot of people are from the water dimension, which is why that topic is very, very popular. You know, water spirits, marine spirits. But there's three other elements that are there that people are not talking about too much. So I'm going to need you, if you're listening to me, if you're from another dimension other than water, which is where I'm from, start talking about your element. Put it on the map too. Because guess what? Even though I am from the water element, I also have very strong connections to earth. But let me digress. So that spiritual spouse and all of those other forces that help you to get here, they help you to come to this world, right? So you left them all behind to come here and do your assignment. I think you need to watch a movie called, oh my God, let me get the movie. It's not Elementals. I don't think it is. It's a Disney movie, but it has Jamie Foxx in there. And he's the piano player. Watch that movie. That movie is very, very powerful. And it's coinciding with what I'm saying. I can't get the... Let me see if I can find it right now. Hold on. I'm going to find it for you right now. Because I like to cite my sources. But it's a movie with Eddie Murphy. Jamie Foxx. Let me see if I can find it. I'm gonna find it right now. Give me a minute, y'all. Disney. All right, it's called Soul. All right, go ahead and watch that movie. Jamie Foxx, Soul, Soul. Watch that movie. It's gonna confirm that heavenly group I'm talking about that you come from. All right, so you left all of them, including that spiritual spouse, to come here to do your assignment. You even left children behind with this spouse, right? And to prove my point, some of you have dreams that you're married, even though you may not be married in this physical life. Some of you had dreams that you're married to someone and you have children, right? So in the waking life, you know you don't know this person. But over there, you know that it's like real, right? In the dream. But it's like, I know I don't know this person in real life, but in the dream at that time, I know this person. This is what I'm trying to tell you. So you left your whole family over there to come to this world, right? You made an agreement with that person that you will honor them when you come to this life, or you will acknowledge them in this life, this 3D existence. You made an agreement, a covenant with them that you will honor them and remember them and thank them and keep connected to them. But coming through the dimensions, there is a veil of forgetfulness that we all experience, this amnesia that happens, right? But coming through the dimensions, you forgot. But deep down in our subconscious, the memory is there. Thank God for our dreams, which show us these things. Because a dream is just not a dream. The dream is a part of the astral realm as well. But yet we cast those dreams to the side, as an effect of eating too late at night or eating something greasy. If you're from Jamaica and you know you eat pork, you know you're about to have some vivid dreams. Y'all understand what I say? So these dreams are reminders and notifications that there are forces, right? Our forces that we need to make peace and align with. Do you know that all of you listening to me right now, under the sound of my voice, you have spirits that are around you, that are assigned to you, that you covenanted with before you came into this earth, that you will be working with them? There's nobody on the face of the planet that don't have spirits that's assigned to them. Those are your spirits. Some of you might say, well, if that's the case, there's every time somebody get around me, this person died. I'm gonna get into that. Because they're not evil. No. Angry, hungry, but they're not evil. But I'm gonna help you out by the grace of God. Once you get in alignment with them, all that stuff stops. But they're trying to get your attention, but let me not get too far into my teaching. So now we need to make peace and align with them. There is no such thing. All right, even though we're primarily talking about the spiritual spouse, there's no such thing as settling them. There's no such thing as that. To settle means to put away. You know what I'm saying? Come to some agreement, get them some money, give them an offering. Okay, leave me alone now. There's no such thing as that. That don't exist. So please take that off your head. Take that out your mind. It's not real. There's no such thing as deliverance from them in this regard. That's a lie. How are you going to get delivered from yourself? You only push them away for a while and then anger them. You make your life worse. That's all. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So ask yourself this question. Put yourself in their shoes, right? If you have resources and energy and you use those resources and energy to send away a loved one temporarily to a strange land, and all of a sudden they forgot about you and even started a new life, they even started cursing you out and telling you that they don't know you or want you around, want nothing to do with you, would you not be pissed off? And even do violent things out of anger because you have been robbed of your due respect? The answer is obvious. Of course you would. So what makes these your forces any different? It's not like they have literal mouths to speak in a language you will understand. So they use the next best thing. Intuitive nudges, dreams, visions, creating hardships in the area of your life that they specifically oversee, trying to get your attention. Some of you get even straight up apparitions. They literally physically appear to you, trying to get your attention and speak through people that are prophetic. But that's to show you how blockheaded and stubborn we can be. You see, religion has really done a number on us. So they're not evil, just angry, hungry, and hurt at your behavior. And again, to speak about compassion, since atrocities like the slave trade and religion and Christianity and Islam and all that stuff that separates the African, separates the indigenous person from their natural spirituality, their natural way of worship, right? Over centuries and more, we've forgotten and adopted to our oppressors' way of life and being. We even wear hair like them, and we bleach our skin to look like them. But your spirits do not forget. This is why you must wake up out of your slumber and ask for the good ancient way. Ask the ancestors to reconnect you back to your power source, your sources of power. Now, this list that I'm going to get into isn't meant to be exhaustive, but it is the most easiest signs that you can see to let you know that you have a spirit spouse that needs alignment and attention. And for the record, you cannot exist on this earth and do not have a spiritual spouse. It's impossible. One cannot exist without the other half. It's that simple. Even if you say, I came to this life, I didn't come to this life to marry and this and that, you have a spiritual spouse, period. And another thing, regardless of your sexual preference, right? Whether you're same gender loving, if you are a male, you have a spiritual wife, period. If you are a female, you have a spiritual husband, period. Watch this. Though some of you are married to deities that are androgynous, and so they will come in both forms at times. Sometimes they'll come as a female, sometimes they'll come as a male. You'll be having sex wondering, am I gay? Like, what in the world? Why did I just have a gay dream? It's your spouse. Sometimes they're androgynous. All right, so I want to put that in there too. You're not gay if you're not gay. You understand? It's just some of your spouses have both forms because it's a deity. But again, these things are happening because they're signs of a spiritual spouse that needs attention. Number one, continuous failed relationships. That's a sign that you have a spiritual spouse. Even partners always being deleted. Put it together. Every time you get with someone, the husband, he just passed away. The wife, she just passed away. What's going on? Every time I get a boyfriend, he just gets deleted. Spiritual spouse. An unappeased spiritual spouse. Number two, here's a very popular one. Intense sexual dreams. This right here can even manifest in the form of addiction, sexual addiction, or promiscuity. Sometimes as a result of an unappeased spiritual spouse. All right, so intense sexual dreams, reaching orgasm in the dream and simultaneously in real life. So you'll be having sex in the dream, bust a nut, have a whole orgasm, wake up, and you really did have an orgasm. But with this one, listen, don't be alarmed and start panicking. This is your spiritual spouse. They can, if they want to, and will have sex with you anytime they want. That's your husband. That's your wife. It's nothing to be ashamed of. And I know as soon as, you start tripping out, you start panicking. Chill out. Relax. Because I'm going to give you some pointers and tips as well, so you can know the difference between the genuine spiritual spouse and some other demonic stuff that's going on. Listen. So it's nothing to be ashamed of. If you have sex in the dream, enjoy it and have an orgasm. Nothing to be alarmed about, nothing to be ashamed about. Okay? In fact, this is what you should do. Right after you wake up from one of those experiences, that is the time you start immediately speaking your intentions and desires to your spiritual spouse while they are still in your energy field. Because you're going to be feeling that sexually satisfied feeling for a while, probably the whole day. That's the time you start speaking to them your desires, what it is you want, what you want manifested. You tell them what you want. That's the perfect time, right? Don't we usually do that after sex with our natural partners? Same principle. Ooh, baby, that sex was so good. Ooh, you took me to heaven. Baby, can I get a car? He say, sure, baby, whatever you want. Oh, baby, can you cook that nice pot of stew that I like? She gonna say, of course, baby. I'll give you anything you want. So that's the perfect time. All right? Don't trip out. Don't get scared. Relax. Now listen, here are some pointers to know the difference between your genuine spiritual spouse or a demonic entity via witchcraft attack. Which of the other is having sex with you, right? I'm going to teach you right now. A, letter A, the genuine spiritual spouse, are you listening? Usually appears as an X, right? You have to remember again, these are beings from a different dimension. So they can't really come to you, in their true form, because it probably would freak you out. You probably wouldn't understand what you're looking at. So they take the form that is common or the easiest route to get the message to you. So yes, they will use a familiar face. So when you wake up, don't say, why is this MFer in my dream? Oh, that's not him. That's not her. It's your spiritual spouse. Okay? So they usually appear as an X, right? Or it could be a face that you do not recognize in waking life, but in the dream, you know this person. Or they feel really familiar, kind, you feel relaxed around them. They're joking with you. Y'all are playing around, having fun, doing nice things, holding hands, kissing, and stuff like that. Also, the key point here is this is the key point. Don't miss this part. To let you know this is your genuine spiritual spouse. You enjoy the encounter. Let me say that 2 more times. You enjoy the encounter. You enjoy the sexual encounter, which is why you reached orgasm, right? Do not panic. It's just your spiritual spouse paying you a visit. Now, letter B. However, if it is very forceful, this encounter, meaning you're being taken against your will, or you are resisting this person in the dream and you're scared and you're fighting and it's painful and scary while in the dream, these are signs of witchcraft attack, and or someone is projecting their spirit upon you. You need to guard up. If this is the case, guard up and ask your true spouse to defend you, to stop the attack. All right? Regarding the after effects, some people say that after that bad things happen regardless of if they enjoyed the encounter or not. After they have sex in a dream, then bad stuff starts happening, misfortune starts happening. These are going back to you not being in good terms with your spouse. How many times have you had sex with your partner, even though y'all weren't on good terms, but y'all just came together for sex? Right. So it goes back to that. What you need to do is get divination done to find out what your spouse wants as offerings and how often, etc. Right? So these usually solve that problem. Another thing that isn't acknowledged enough that I see is just superstition and very strong fear-based thinking as well. It is all inner at the end of the day, right? So it's what's going on the inside. That's what's going to get you on the outside. It's all inner at the end of the day. And what it is you dwell on is what will manifest every time. So if you swear by that every time you have sex in your dreams, your life gets worse, then that's exactly what's going to happen. And another thing is, if you are sex starved, then yeah, you're going to have sexual dreams, okay? So if you know how to do simple divination for yourself, that's even better. To find out, is your spiritual spouse around? Are they happy? What they want? Da 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 da. It's even better because some teach that you cannot contact your own spouse on your own and you need a spiritualist to initiate it first. Well, that makes no sense to me at all. My spouse is not coming for sex and connection through any priest or priestess or spiritualist. So why then do I need to go to one to speak to my spouse? Make that make sense. I respect them. I respect the spiritualists for what they do. But it's time we grow on our own, right? And we grow our own spiritual practice. Have our own home altars where we talk to our spirits there by ourselves and do simple works for ourselves and stop being so reliant on spiritualists to do everything for us. Some of you are even more anointed than your spiritualists, but you have never given yourself a chance to see it. Let me prophesy to you. Try it out with respect and humility, and you'll be surprised that your spirits just want a little attention for free. If you know, you know. You are already having money problems, only for your spiritualist to ask you for a lot of money to reconnect you with your own self. I mean, didn't my spirits know that I was already broke? Hello? Which is why I'm at the spiritualist house in the first place. Let me digress. Number 3. This one may be personal to me, meaning it, might be only happening to me. But anyway, the third sign is people assuming that you were already married, yet you never mentioned a spouse to them. Or them saying, aren't you married yet? I could have sworn you were married. This is the presence of your spiritual spouse that you can feel, that they can feel around you. 4, constant money problems. You can never keep money for too long. Up and down success. But this also runs concurrent with other forces in your life as well. But the spiritual spouse is known to give wealth, blessing, all those type of things. Number 5, short-term relationships. They always leave suddenly. I'm talking about the relationship that you have, intimate relationships in the natural realm. They always leave suddenly, out of nowhere, or you just lose interest out of nowhere. Or your partner has scary dreams of the spouse, threatening them, sometimes even with the threat of deletion. Some of you have spiritual spouses that's so intense, they'll attack your person, throw them off the bed, all type of stuff. Sometimes plain, unexplained departure. They just leave out of nowhere. You don't have no explanation. You don't know what happened. They just disappear. They just leave. Number 6, miscarriages. That happens if you have an unappeased spiritual spouse. Again, remember, some of you left children over there, only for you to come to this earth and then marry and have children. Hell to the no. They ain't going to like that. That doesn't make them evil. But again, put yourself in their shoes. You haven't appeased them. You haven't honored your part of the contract, and they're supposed to leave you alone. That's not going to happen. Right? Infantile deletion. They do that as well. Until you appease them, you don't have their blessing. You don't have their permission to marry. It's a respect thing. It's an honor thing. Some of you are married to queens. And if you're married to a queen, that means you're a king. Some of you are married to kings. And if you're married to a king, you're a queen. So almost like, how dare you? No, I'm going to block this until you give me my due respect. You understand? So, also, if they allow you to marry, your spouse can be under constant misfortune as a result of being with you. But listen to this. In some cases, it's the exact opposite, but at your expense. That means the partner you with prospers with you, but you get drained and depressed. But once your relationship with your spiritual spouse is fixed, you are fiercely protected, and they will even run away, negative partners, even if you don't discern the dangers yet. So some of you may align with your spiritual spouse and the good relationship good relationship that you have now, all of a sudden breaks apart and you're confused. It's your spiritual spouse that can see the end that you can't see. and they're just doing you the favor of getting that person out of your life. Number 7, even if you are single, you feel a strange sense of being protected from potentially dangerous people. Now, I used to experience this when I was in high school. I know I'm a good looking man. And I know I was looking better than some of my friends, but they could just get all the women and this and that. I couldn't figure it out. It was like this veil of protection that I felt. I felt it. It was like it made me invisible to women in that way that, women are attracted to men. They only see me as a good friend. But I felt intuitively, even before I knew what I knew now, there was this protection over me. At the time, I was saying it was Jesus and the Holy Ghost and stuff. But now I know better it was my spiritual spouse. I was saying, I'm not going to let him get hurt. I'm going to protect him. So you'll feel this strange sense of being protected from potentially dangerous people, especially from the opposite sex, right? Which is okay. If you aren't interested in a relationship, they'll keep it that way. But if you are, you're going to need to come to an agreement with your spiritual spouse to allow you to marry on this earth. And as long as they are respected and acknowledged, they will allow you to, and even bless the relationship. They will even channel through that partner to you. And watch this. And in some rare cases, they may even physically be that spiritual spouse in the flesh. All right. Some of you didn't understand that last point. Some of you will actually meet your spiritual spouse. They're living in the physical body just like you are, and you're going to meet them and marry them in some rare cases. All right. Now let's talk about some very simple offerings your spiritual spouse will appreciate. Most of them will accept your favorite dishes, favorite foods that you like, drinks, alcohol, wine, sweet drinks, juice, soda, fruits and veggies, candies, also jewelry and clothing, right? Look at this. Just as in the natural, you would give your partner perfume or cologne, jewelry, clothing, shoes, handbag, you can give your spiritual spouse these offerings too. But please be eco-friendly. Do not leave the bottles in the water. Stop doing this shit. Stop dirtying the water. Stop dirtying nature. Stop it. That is nonsense. And if your spiritualist is doing that crap, don't let them do your spiritual work. Nonsense. You have to remember, whatever offering you're giving to the spirits, after the spirit has received the ashe or the energy of the offering, that thing must now be able to be degraded, or, the earth must be able to naturally recycle it. Make it make sense. Do not leave those bottles in the water. Throwing whole bottles in the water and plastic in the water, that makes no fucking sense. Open the bottle and pour the contents out. Then put the bottle in the recycle bin, please. The same thing goes for things that have plastic wrappings like candies and cookies and stuff. Open it and open it and take out the candy and the biscuits and all that. Put the biscuits in the water, not the wrapper. Take care of the earth, y'all. Come on. The same thing goes. If it's clothing, offer it up to the spirits, to your spouse, then burn it. Right? Burn it. Do not pollute nature. Burn it and then take the ashes and give it to it. Give it to nature. Please stop doing this nonsense. Make sure nature can actually receive it and break it down naturally. All right. Here's how to offer these items. Whatever element you are reincarnated from is usually where your spiritual spouse comes from as well. Some have more than one spiritual spouse, but that is for a different teaching. So you will offer the offerings to the elements you are born from. In my case, I'm from water, okay? So I will go to the water, any body of water. I will pour the contents out of my bottle, of my wine, my liquor, my water, whatever. Pop the bottle, pour the libation in the water. I will recycle the bottle, in the recycle bin. I do not throw it in the water, okay? Candies or anything that has a plastic wrapper, I do the same. Unwrap it, take out the cookies, take out the candies, take out the sweets, put it in the water, and I throw my wrappers away in the trash. Same thing for clothes and non-biodegradable items. Burn them, then scatter the ashes in the water. If it's jewelry, you can throw it in the water as well. And if it's jewelry that you're going to throw in the water, don't overspend. Buy some jewelry that's relatively cheap, because remember, it's all about the symbolism anyway. Or if you have an altar in your home, put the jewelry on your altar. Or you can wear it as a sign of connection to your spiritual spouse, if your spiritual spouse would like to receive jewelry from you. If it's perfume or cologne, same thing. You may not be able to pour out the contents of the cologne. Just spray a few sprays over the water. Hello. And just keep the bottle. You know what I mean? So you just use that almost like an incense. So you don't throw the whole bottle in the water. You just spray a few sprays in the water and spray some on yourself. All right? Just use common sense is what I'm saying. All right? So if you're from the earth element, pour out your offerings on the earth. Pour out your libations on the earth, your liquids, your waters. Unwrap the items. Place them on the earth or at the base of a tree. Right? Cut them up. Cut them up small. Break up the cookies. Cut up the fruits and the vegetables and the candies so that afterwards the animals and the bugs can eat them after you leave. All right? Anything non-biodegradable, safely burn it. Don't burn down the whole forest, okay? Burn it in some kind of pot or a fire-safe bowl or something. Burn it into ashes and then scatter the ashes on the ground or at the base of a tree. Simple. For those of you of the air element, you can spray the wine, spit the wine or the liquor into the air. All right. You can light incense and candles. Bring anything that makes noise, bells, drums, shakers, anything regarding the earth element. Bring those things. Same thing. If the items is non-biodegradable, you bring in shoes or jewelry to your spouse or whatever. You bring in perfume, spray it in the air, spray the cologne in the air, burn the items. All right. Throw the ashes in the air. Simple. For those of you of the fire element, should be very obvious. Candles, incense, hot drink. So any kind of hot liquor, any kind of spicy liquor or whatever type of libation you're going to bring, put it into the air, throw it on the ground, put it at the base of a tree. Throw the bags and the wrappers and the bottles in the recyclable after you're done and burn the items safely. Very, very simple. Use common sense. These are offerings that your spouses will receive for the most part. Some of you may need to do divination to find out if they would like animals and stuff like that, but I'll leave that to your own discretion to take care of. So like I said, this isn't a list that was made to be exhaustive, but these are the easiest to spot. There is more. And if you have a sign not on this list, kindly place it in the comments below and share your thoughts. Share this video, like and subscribe and hit the bell. And if you would like a divination to be done, possibly you want to find out what element you are reincarnated from, or you want to find out if there are any forces on your mother's side or father's side that need appeasement, or even would like a message from your spiritual spouse, any form of question at all, I should be able to answer for you. I do offer those divination readings. Please look in my comment box below. My description box, and you have all the information there to help you contact me and get this message going along. But let me do a collective message for you all. And let's just hear. Today is Unko Day in Igbo. Igbo Market Day that's the element of the air. So let's hear what the element of air has to say. Unko, 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 unko. Spirits of the air, elements of the air. What would you like us to know? Give us a message. Give the peoples a message. I am Ofo Miri, the staff of authority in the waters, the voice in the flow of the waters. Give us a message. Give us a message. Give us a message. What would you like the collective to know? Wow. So you can't see this card now. I'm probably, what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a picture of it, and that's going to be the background of this video. It says the emergence of protection, boundaries, self-preservation, trusting in divine protection. So I know y'all are seeing the connection here to the protection I was telling you about. So let's quickly read that message, and the number of the card is 39. All right, so that number may have some significance, and this card was upright. Key concepts: setting boundaries, self preservation, trusting divine protection. Despite temporary turmoil, the need for protection implies the existence of a threat that must be guarded against. Can you feel, however, that you are not the only one looking out for you? We inherently know that our lives are brief, and we will experience highs and lows before we return to spirit. When we call upon higher forces, it makes it safer and easier to move through this world. I thank you for confirmation. As you progress on your journey, trust in divine protection. Unnecessary harm will not come to you if you follow the prompts, signs, and nudges along the way. Shield your energy by setting healthy boundaries. In this way, you teach others how to treat you respectfully, as well as underscore your own self respect. On the rare occasion that someone crosses your clear boundaries, you will be able to respond effortlessly and dispassionately because you know yourself so well. You're doing the inner work to know who you are. You know your boundaries and broadcast them. Now trust that the mission you are on comes with divine direction and divine protection. You can do this. There is nothing to fear today. Listen, you need to go ahead and get this reading and find out who is in your corner. And I'm here for you. All right? Contact me. All my information is in the description box. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace, peace, peace.